sodden all the way to my boot soles.
Oh there, a word of warning, wanderer, afore you continue on your merry way. See these corpses here? Be a good fellow and take them as a hint that this town isn't the pastoral little paradise it once was. Ha! Immaculates, orcs and humans both, have taken Hunter's Edge. Its villagers are now slaves in the mines to the west, or they've been bled dry of their last drop of life, reduced to mere fuel that must light the wicked candle that is bloodstone. Long as you live in the limbo between coming and going, though, why not have a look at what I have to sell? You'd be surprised to see what a scouring skeleton can gather together in a dying town. Yeah! Well, don't go round angering immaculates if you want to keep your vitals intact. Though perhaps it won't be very long before they have a stab at one another's vitals instead. I have the feeling there's trouble brewing between the orcs and the humans in there. And who can blame him, really? Just ain't natural for him to consort on.
Hey, you! Come on, time's a wasting.
Can't say I remember who I was before the change came over me. But these days, I'm a travelling trader of sorts. There's an immaculate necromancer in the village ahead. She's the one who brought me back from, well, wherever I was. She's an especially bright one, you know. Most necromancers can only revive a dead corpse into an animated one, but she manages to yank back some semblance of consciousness too. I don't remember much, but the thrill of trade certainly calls to me. Maybe I was a merchant in my former life, who knows? These days, most undead are busy haunting Seal or picking the way in the Lucula mines. But I keep a low profile and stay out of sight. Haven't been bothered by an immaculate yet, and I hope to keep it that way.
Hey, you! Come on, time's a wasting.
I think I could have made a fortune selling all of these to a whimsical taxidermist.
Hey, you! Come on, time's a wasting.
You can speak. You don't look like a tribesman or orc, but I suppose I can't be certain. Then again, I've never heard of a dark soul gifted with the speech of the wild. Jinxica is my name, and until recently I lived a placid sort of life among the people of Hunter's Edge. The baker might leave me a bit of milk left over from this breakfast. The barkeep stroked my back between filling glasses. I had many friends here, but none so dear as a little trio. A married pair and their daughter, employed by the wizard to keep his home. They spent many long hours squashing fleas that plagued me and shared their warm beds with me each night. If you come to this village to help and not to harm, you might be able to save those 3 kind souls from the orcs that have invaded. Ugh. Such misery in our sad town. A kind but private man he is. He set up his home here several years ago, but never remained there long enough before jetting off to tend to some matter or other. The dark invaders seem very interested in him indeed. They've been skulking around outside the house since they arrived. but not even one of their filthy vermin can penetrate the wizard's protective enchantments. Would that an invasion were all! They destroyed every crumb of life they could find and sent their filthy rats to seek out those who evaded them. Each life they took infused their strange stones with power. Their queen glowed with delight as a parade of victims were slain before her. It was as though she was taking in a beautiful song. The human tribe came shortly after. They had their own supply of the glowing stones, and the orc queen took no easy liking to them. Still, it seems they are working towards some similar goal. They haven't destroyed one another. Yet. They've survived this carnage so far by concealing themselves most cleverly. I've done my best to guard their hiding place from the slime-bellied rats attempting to sniff them out. But I fear my efforts aren't enough. Until the village has been rid of vermin, those 3 sweet souls may be found at any time. Savages by savages employed. The orcs have one among them, the rat catcher they call him, who claims to have trained rats to do his bidding. They've swarmed the place in search of hidden villagers, and unless every last one of them is split from tail to snout, they're sure to find my friends. But you're not like the brutes inside those walls. No. You approached me with hand, not boot, outstretched. Perhaps you could help me. With these rats running about, it's only a matter of time before my friends are caught. They must be squashed, every last one of them. I've done my best so far, but there are simply too many for one set of claws to handle. With your help, though, with your help, it could be done. The rats gone, my friends safe. Oh, that bothersome old Tom. No, he and I are hardly friendly, much less friends. I've much more important things on my mind than him and his incessant pestering. I can slip through these walls as I please, but you'll need to find your own way into the village. And remember, my friend, kill every last rat you find, or 3 dear souls will be lost.
Source Hunter, welcome, welcome.
Make a chandelier, most like. And a very ostentatious one it'll be.
Ah, yes, I'm watching on with weary eyes how the Immaculates strike again. They've gone from shedding blood among their own to recruiting orcs and cutthroats to do it for them. From what I can tell, the village of Hunter's Edge is this cult's most wretched victim. It was once a quiet sort of village. Families and small-time merchants mostly. Recently, it was targeted by a tribe of orcs waving the Immaculate banner. Their leader, Grutilda, is known far and wide for her cruelty and cunning. She oversaw the murder of countless villagers and used their blood to fuel a great number of bloodstones. Once they were dead, they were reanimated as undead corpses and sent to work in the mines of Lacula.
Now I missed my nose. Must smell like delicious spit ropes around here.
By order of Leandra, the orcs were joined by a tribe of humans from the northern peaks of Tanneroth. A band of male warriors are they, and they devote allegiance to their leader, Jarl. Jarl arrived with his own formidable supply of bloodstones, which means his tribe has been operating under directions from the conduit for some time. Where once they ransacked for base pleasure and material gain, now they do it by the will of the goddess. These are far from the blindly devoted Immaculates of Silverglen, however. The orcs and the humans here alternate between bitter fighting and hostile peace. Personally, I believe they're best exploited through their rivalry. Get them to fight each other, and you can stand on the sidelines and warm yourself upon the flames.
Still me on those boats. Must have been the miller's boy.
He has a residence at the far end of town. Though I have my doubts he's having people over for tea now that the Immaculates have landed. Know that Zandalor is wily, so beware. If a wizard doesn't want you in his home, you'll know it. Pity the intruder that heedlessly tries to waltz his way into that dwelling. Nevertheless, his house is the very place you'll want to search. The accumulated knowledge stored there is quite phenomenal, and beyond a doubt, one of Leandra's most urgent pursuits.
Just what that deviant of an orc was looking for.
It's heating up.
I prefer to drown my sorrows with ale. Did someone leave an oven door open?
It never rains, but it pours, eh?
You there, Flatlander. Stay at your business.
What? Free to address your betters, are you? Then why not stand up and face me, boy? One on one.
Come to play now the town's been taken, have you? Typical of you Flatlanders. Lucky for you, the goddess don't discriminate against cowards. Well, come quickly then. There's still townsfolk on the loose, and the chase has probably made them wild as cornered dogs. One might pop out of a bush and take an eye before you can shout your own name. Better you first check in with the higher-ups. You've got Jarl, the righteous leader of Weird the Mountain, and blood-stained Gratilda, queen dog of the giant toads. Trust me, you'll know her when you see her. Now scram, and make your introductions before word gets to them there's an intruder here.
I could do with a cold drink.
Is that one of them lovely Baywater belts? Oh, no, false door. Just a few yards of intestine.
Bacon like a cake.
My kingdom for a dry shirt!
I'm warm as fresh apple pie.
Did someone leave an oven door open? My kingdom for a dry shirt!
Comrade, did you hear that? It sounds like these Immaculates are at odds with the local orc savages. We may be able to turn this to our advantage. I'll keep a sharp eye out for anything we could use to nudge these factions closer to chaos. If we can get them to destroy each other, we'll kill two birds without even having to pick up a stone. Nothing would please me more than seeing Hunter's Edge cleared of the scum that destroyed it. I may not be able to undo the past, but together we can dole out justice for those who've suffered.
Doesn't look so so fearsome without his second horn. And to think, it was a human who managed to snap it clean off.
Come to work today, boss. I've got the human, and it's itching like mad. What? Afraid to address your betters, are you?
I ain't afraid of a single frog-skinned one of you.
Then why not stand up and face me, boy? One on one.
They're keeping the peace for now.
Dredge!
Keep Jordan. That other tusk's yours to keep in the meantime.
That's it. Y'all can't stand the thought of it all.
The other rats are all fleeing.
Sweats, can he?
There's got to be a more subtle way to exterminate these beasts.
Poison ought to do the trick, but I'm fresh out of cheese-flavoured deadly
We'll
nightshade.
see who'll end up beneath those boots.
Is that what you call those?
These rats seem important to the Immaculates.
If we're going to exterminate them, we've got to find a better way to do it.
Human, even the lamb sounds pleased. You've come to work today, boss. I've got the human, and it's itching like mad. What? Afraid to address your betters, are you?
I ain't afraid of a single frog-skinned one of you.
Then why not stand up and face me, boy? One on one.
They're keeping the peace for now. Chief's orders. That other tusk's yours to keep in the meantime.
That's so. Y'all can't stand the thought of it all. Try getting ripped to shreds, can he? Living in fear under the great Matilda boots.
Go on then, Frogskin. We'll see who'll end up beneath those boots.
Is that what you call those thimbles on your toes?
You're all mad. Brothers are we all? Limbs of the tribe. Y'all.
Blasted mosquitoes. Never a moment's peace with these filthy vermin buzzing in me. Oh, oh, brother, I've crossed me pests. 'Tweren't a tiny winged bloodsucker whining at me, but a tiny footed one. Brother, I think the human's asking me a question. Think I ought to tell the tiny pest who I am? Or ought I tell her I lost this horn in a scuffle with another ickle human? Maybe it was this one's brother. That pesky bugger might have got... Human, even the name sounds diseased. You've come to work today, boss. I've got the human, and it's itching like mad. What? Afraid to address your betters, are you?
I ain't afraid of a single frog-skinned one of you.
Then why not stand up and face me, boy? One on one.
It's heating up.
We're keeping the peace for now. Chief's orders. That other tusk's yours to keep in the meantime.
That's so. Y'all can't stand the thought of it all. Try getting ripped to shreds, can he? Living in fear.
Go on then, Frogskin. We'll see who'll end up beneath those boots.
Is that what you call those small, twisted sling of pain?
That gets so ugly when it dries.
Human, even the lamb sounds diseased. You've come to work today, boss. I've got the human, and it's itching like mad. What? Afraid to address your betters, are you?
I'm overheating
I
here.
ain't afraid of a single frog-skinned one of you.
Then why not stand up and face me? One on one.
They're keeping the peace for now. Chief's orders. That other tusk's yours to keep in the meantime.
That's so. Y'all can't stand the thought of it all. Try getting ripped to shreds, can he? Poor fellow. Living in fear under the great Matilda boots.
Go on then, Frogskin. We'll see who'll end up beneath those boots.
Is that what you call those things?
Sodden all the way to my boot soles.
Dunce probably lost the bloody thing up his own arse.
The human's the one who took it. And it makes you like mad. Yes, or mother, I'll say. The human's the one who took it. Yes, or mother, I'll say. The human's the one who took it.
Dunce probably lost the bloody thing up his own arse.
I haven't got a hole in my pocket, have I? Yes, or mother, I'll say. The human's the one who took it.
Big ugly brute making me do his dirty work.
Have
I bet his skull would make a lovely goblet for Jarl's mead.
Am I gazing at the holes of soul?
Well. Thought you could get away with it, did ya? Don't look so confused, Pinky. The armory key. Hand it over. Painting my toenails pale lilac, of course. What does it look like, you ape? I'm hunting for a missing key. I'm the All-Mother's right hand. If there's something she needs done by someone she knows can do it, I'm the one she calls. This little key ordeal, don't change that. It's small, metal, fits in a keyhole. Help us look or shove off, will ya? I've got to find the key before the old mother finds out it's missing, or she'll carve a spear at me right tusk.
Dunce probably lost the bloody thing up his own
It
arse.
could prove rather worth our time to find it.
Source hunter, scavenger hunter. For better or worse, our resumes are growing.
Mother, I'll say. The human's the one who took it.
One side. I ain't got time for chatting till I find the... What does that matter? Quit buzzing in my ear before I squash you like we did the rest of the pests in this blasted place. You'd be too if you'd misplaced something of Gratilda's. I once saw her skin her own foot soldier alive for mispronouncing All-Mother. And he'd only done it after she'd knocked his teeth out for sneezing in her presence. What's worse is, the coward's blaming his troubles on me, only because I happened to be passing by when he noticed his armory key was missing. I'd tell him to piss off and be on my way, but he threatened to tell Gratilda it's me who stole it. Somehow, I doubt I'll get to tell my side of things before my head was shorn clear off. Not a damn thing in all the 12 hills of hell. This idiot orc has no idea where he's lost the damn thing. So he's taken to blaming me, a passerby. It's just like an orc to save his own skin by flaying someone else.
You better have the bleeding key shows up soon.
Thought you said it was me who pocketed it.
How in the second heaven am I supposed to know what you did with the damn thing? It's all mother, I'll say. The humans the one who took it.
Someone's there.
See, again, dog is cut.
Alone again.
Am I gazing at the whole?
It's all mother, I'll say. The humans the one who took
The
it.
noose for me and the rat
Dunce
for you.
probably lost the bloody thing up his own arse.
Keep what up exactly? I was only having a bit of fun.
Even a local spell was in this place.
I haven't got a hole in my pocket, have I?
I won't lose you over a silly joke.
Tell me how I can help it. Everywhere you go, this damn bleeding heart of mine follows.
I haven't got a
You
hole in
think
my
I
pocket,
feel the
have I?
same? You must know how every shred of my soul screams to be near you. But I've learned to keep it quiet, and you've got to do the same.
Warriors selfless.
Dunce probably lost the
Once the battle's over, love's always left to return.
Trust me. I mean, to feel this way about anyone.
Get every cranny now.
Besides, a freak.
You know damn
It's
well
history's so-called freaks and market only. If we can survive this, we can survive anything.
I won't believe it for a moment.
How long till we're not just surviving, but living?
I can't say for certain, but darling,
It's all mother.
I do promise we'll make it out of here together.
If you say so, I believe it.
That's the spirit. Yes, we've got to keep our hopes high, but our defenses even higher. We shouldn't meet with this again for some time, but remember, above all, above anything you might hear, I love you, and ever will.
bloody key. Who could trust a big stupid oaf like you with something like that? I say you're so stupid the key probably fell from your pocket while you were squatting over the latrine.
Are you daft? If you keep that up, we're through. It'll be the noose for me and the rat for you. Is that what you want?
Keep what up exactly? I was only having a bit of fun.
Even a local spell the end of us in this place. I won't stand it. I won't lose you over a silly joke.
Tell me how I can help it. Everywhere
I haven't
you
got a
go,
hole in
this
my
damn
pocket, have
bleeding
I?
heart of mine follows.
Lee, don't you think I feel the
Big
same?
ugly brute making me
You
do
must
his
know
dirty
how
work.
rich
I
red
bet
my
his
soul
skull would make a lovely
screams to be
goblet
near
for
you.
Jarl's me.
But I've learned to keep it quiet, and you've got to do the same.
Thought you said it was me.
Soaked to the skin.
How in a second am I supposed to know what you did with that damn thing?
See, against doggish custom to take a dip in the river now and again. You smell like a wounded hog.
It's no surprise a dainty thing like you can't handle a bit of musk. Shall I run you a bubble bath, darling? Lace it with rose oil, shall I?
What do you mean by? I mean, damned if I bother justifying my manner to a beast like you.
What's all this about your manhood, small bones? I'd like to hear more on that subject.
Your mind's as filthy as your underarms. Go suck on a sick troll's seeping nostrils,
Probably lost
will
the
you?
bloody thing up his own arse.
It's all a bit of fight left in you after all. But why'd I go for a troll when I've got so many tasty humans right here in camp? Quit your sneaking around, you snake. Where'd you say you come from again? And how do we know you ain't a spy? I could ask the same of you, small bones. I don't go stopping up to you in a ballet class demanding to know which pirouette you're doing next, do I?
Big ugly brute making me
What?
do his dirty.
That's disgusting. A tiny pink-fleshed human and an orc like myself. Why, I've got eyes for the great Gratilda alone.
Uli, we can't hide forever.
Hide what? You think this stranger knows anything about the two of us, old freak? I tell you now, that twerp don't know a thing.
Enough, Uli. Enough. Surely this stranger has no reason to put us in harm's way. We're all sworn immaculates here, are we not? There are certain secrets that perhaps we, beneath the goddess's eye, may share in good faith.
Well, first thing you have to understand, We orcs aren't made to love it all. Nah, we're born devoted to our queen. And to her we turn all our attentions. To seek fulfillment outside the queen's graces, well, it's a treason committed only once in a red moon among we orcs. And when we first took the village, I couldn't tell Orfrig apart from the rest of the pink little ants scurrying about. A human was a human, as far as I was concerned.
As for me, Ulor stood out right away. The curve of his horns, his regal bearing. It was fascinating. I'd never seen an orc as anything but an enemy, but suddenly I couldn't keep my eyes off this great green brute. I suppose my staring was rather conspicuous.
You suppose? Oh, I thought you were aiming to slit my throat the way you were watching me.
I couldn't help myself. It was almost supernatural. But when Ulor marched over to me, club in hand, to address my strange behaviour, something happened.
Love at first sight, if you can believe it. I came over aiming for a fight, but all I found in Ulfric's eyes was, well, whatever it was, it hasn't left me since.
Please, if you've any mind for sparing two fellows a terrible fate, you'll swear to keep our secret to yourself. We've committed no sin greater than experiencing a love as sweet and pure as any.
Jarl's mead.
It's all you.
And so let us speak the oath. Your secret is safe with us.
Oh, friend. Your words are a great relief to my beloved and I can't explain how or why we found these feelings, but there's one thing I know for certain. We are no traitors, and our service to the cause remains true. Your discretion is worth its weight in gold. Goddess bless you.
Matilda doesn't tell you a thing, does she? We're waiting to find the final battle. The time is nearly nigh.
I need a moment to reflect.
Big ugly brute making me do his dirty work. I bet he's skull and make a lovely compliment to Jarl's mead.
Enough about your so-called compassion. We've a mission to complete.
The rust. The...
You know damn well I wouldn't touch anything of yours with a 10-hand pole.
So what? David, just as you were waltzing through here. Your mother won't believe it for a moment.
You look for me and the rat for you. Is that what you want?
Behold these skulls and the red river lips with which they kiss.
I haven't got a hole in my pocket, have I?
I won't stand for it. I won't lose you over a silly joke.
Tell me how I can help it. Everywhere you go, this damn bleeding heart of mine follows.
So many of these skulls are so delightful.
Afraid to address your betters, are you?
Please.
The ugly brute making me do his dirty work. I bet his skull would make a
Indeed.
lovely...
We hold no allegiance to a pair of sneaks.
That's how it is it? Well, small bones. It's a shame we can't trust you to...
I say you're so stupid.
Here, you louse!
You're squashing over the latrine.
mother, I'm saying. The humans the one talking.
Immolation!
Don't ask. Unbreakable!
Wherever in Riverlon you lead, I will follow.
I haven't got a hole in my pocket, have I?
Don's probably lost the bloody thing up his own arse. You know damn well I wouldn't touch anything of yours with a 10-hand. Maimed and mutilated.
I haven't got a hole in my pocket, have I?
Don's probably lost the bloody thing of his own arse. Big ugly brute making me do his dirty work. I bet his skull would make a lovely goblet for Jarl's mead. Bloody key. Who could trust a big stupid oaf like you with something like that? I say you're so stupid the key probably fell from your pocket while you were squatting over the latrine.
It's all motherfuckers. The humans. I haven't got a hole in my pocket, have I?
Dodge's probably lost the bloody thing up his own arse.
I haven't got a hole in my pocket, have I?
I needed that.
It's all mother, I'll say. The humans the one.
Dunce probably lost the bloody thing up his own arse.
It's all mother, I'll say. The humans the one. It's all mother, I'll say. The humans.
Dunce probably lost the bloody thing up his own arse.
I haven't got a hole in my pocket, have I?
Meet your demise!
This place. If love makes me a traitor,
Back on
then let
my
me call my master's ranks once more.
dunce probably lost the bloody thing up his own arse.
You better own the bleeding key shows up soon.
Thought you said it was me who pocketed it.
Now in a second, it was more supposed to know what you did with the damn thing. It's all marvelous. You...
I bet his skull would make a lovely goblet for Jarl's meat.
Sweet relief.
It's all marvelous. You... I haven't got a hole in my pocket, have I?
Am I gazing at the whole
I feel like I've just had a long bath in a
Or am I
cold
wrong
lake.
altogether? Look here! Look at you! How I admire one whose head is lodged so firmly upon their shoulders, like a spire that rests upon the breadth of its foundations, one and indivisible. Not I, alas. I fare not so. For I may replace my battered cranium as jauntily as a wizard may his hat. Just consider some of these examples here before me. How I admire this one's kingly brow, that one's exquisite jaw, yonder one's deep-set sockets that held a warrior's eyes. Why make a permanent choice? Why not cater to the occasion as called for? I would, but for the question, where does the soul reside? And so I ask, where are you, O ephemeral soul? If in a tooth you may be pulled, if in an arm you may be broken, where are you, O delicate monstrosity?
You know damn well I wouldn't touch anything of yours with a 10-hand pole.
So it was...
Surely you jest when you question this question's importance. Say I opt for that there fair-featured sovereign of a skull. What if I play the part of the aforementioned wizard, and swap its rugged lineaments for the feeble ones that are my own? Who shall I become? I. Yes. Who is I, then? Were I sure that the soul houses within the chest, within one's little toe, for all I care, I would fret not so. But the certainty I long for remains as impossible to find as one specific raindrop in the rain. You, oh, I beg of you, have you not the answer?
I haven't got a hole in my pocket, have I?
Big ugly brute making me do his dirty work. I bet his skull would make a lovely goblet for Jarl's meat.
I concur. Pick a new skull if you want one. It's not going to change who you are in the least.
But of course, why was I so blind? The soul is not of the body, it is of the spirit. A new skull I shall have, but same person I'll remain. Oh, the agony of choice. I think I'll opt for the one with the kingly brow.
Making me do his dirty work. I bet his skull would make a lovely goblet for Jarl's meat.
What? Where in the blazes? The last I knew was an orc coming at me with an axe.
Big ugly brute making me do his dirty work. I bet his skull would make a lovely goblet
Hello again. Do you bring good news?
I'd prefer to drown my sorrows with ale. Nice hand of cards, that one.
Come, let's have another round before I get too drunk to read. I'd never have judged a few grimy ground dwellers, and lost ones at that, to be worth all this fuss.
Chief knows what he knows. He says, find the cellar, so that's what we do.
Well, for all he knows, they could be knee-deep in forest muck miles away from here.
The forest? So that settles it. You really are big a buffoon as you look. No one gets into the Phantom Forest, brother. No one.
And the conduit? Chief says she's there as we speak.
That thick brain of yours is better suited for gruel than for thinking. Of course she's there. She's got the goddess within her. Come on, then. We've got a cellar to find. Your chatter won't scare it into the open, you know.
Plates
Ain't
and
there
rubbish.
something behind here?
I ain't a bleeding maid. Hey, you already checked beneath these boards?
The orcs tore through this place like wild pigs.
There's nothing to find in this bleeding dump.
The thing won't budge.
We're gonna
I
gather
thought the same about that village.
Such away my boot soles!
Is this one of them fancy scribble pages? Never did trust them myself.
Maybe the lock can be jimmied.
Plates and rubbish. I ain't a bleeding maid.
Ain't there something behind here?
Hey, you already checked beneath these boards? Any sign of them?
None here. And no hint of that secret cellar either. Who would have thought Flatlanders would be so clever?
Well, keep looking. We'll rip out every board if need be. Chief's orders.
The orcs tore through this place like wild pigs.
There's nothing to find in this bleeding dump.
Ugh, I'm dripping.
The thing won't budge. Then again, I thought the same about that village's kneecap.
I've spotted something interesting.
This boulder looks strange. Unreal, even.
Who are you? Stay away from my family. They know nothing of the wizard. Take me. A source hunter? Lodian, the gods have answered our prayers. I can think of no more welcome deliverer from this predicament than one of your esteemed order. Seven bless us, and you too. Aye, we three laboured under Zandalor's employ. He was right decent to us, and it's thanks to him we managed to escape the brutes upstairs. Zandalor prepared this hidden place long ago. It's almost as though he knew, somehow, that this day would come. Or perhaps he knew only that the forces of evil would always pursue those of goodness and light. Many years ago, he told us that if ever we found ourselves in danger, we should flee to this cellar. Shut fast its door, he said, and mark the jam with a chalk pentangle. This will call forth the magic I have assigned for your protection. It seems our friend was true to his... Zandalor is a brilliant man, even among wizards. Why he chose to settle in this sleepy little town, I can't say. But then again, he never did remain for long. Always dashing off to it. We cared for his home while he was away, and attended to him when he was in. We were quite fond of him, and I do believe he was rather fond of us too. It seems that when we triggered this cellar's defences, he knew straight away. Within a minute or so, a strange orb of light appeared before us. It grew sharper and sharper about the edges. I held out my hands to grasp it, and it fell, heavy as a pearl, in my hands. From the orb came Zandalor's voice, clear and strong, as though he were standing just before me. His voice was hurried, strained in a way I'd never heard before. Something unthinkable. That he was travelling through the Phantom Forest, that heart of horrors, and into the ancient Source Temple that rests within its cursed depths. He told us to wait for the White Witch, asked us to deliver a message, something important by the sound of it. We wrote it down, word for word, and will pass it along whenever it is she comes. I know little more than its name implies, but if a temple of Source does indeed rest within that blighted forest, a greater evil I cannot imagine. Many is the year since ghoul or beast has ventured out of the defiled sanctuary of those woods, yet still we of the village dare not enter. Legend says that to set a single foot into the Phantom Forest is to invite death's grasp. It's a legend none wish to test. As you may know, this town was founded as the last bulwark against the Source monstrosities that reside within that terrible place. After the fall of Brachus Rex, the defeated darkness retreated to those woods, and haunted they have remained ever since. Believe me, Source Hunter, the last thing I'd want to do is disparage you, but this message is simply too important to hand over to a recent acquaintance. Perhaps if you had some proof of your association, we might feel better handing it over. Not much to see here, I'm afraid, but you're welcome to take a look around.
Make yourself at home for the present. We haven't much to offer, but my wife can tell you plenty about the wizard. He's a good and decent man, our Zandalor. Without him, we'd have been ripped apart and tossed us off.
How very strange to see a friendly face in these dark times. Strange, but welcome. Oh, that dear fellow. He had a great many friends and acquaintances, from local witches to mighty spirits. His dining room was always full of conversations of every conceivable topic, and it was a pleasure to listen in. But he had been somewhat despondent these past few years, ever since return from an extended visit to Luculla Forest. His long face and nervous eyes were new features to his typically sunny disposition. We never did learn the source of his discomfort, but I always kept him in my prayers. A cat told you. I don't know much about source hunters, but I never knew them to be, well, cat whisperers, or any such thing. If what you say is true, it must be Jinxica to whom you spoke. How wonderful to hear she lives. I feared she'd been lost to the orcs or the wilds, but it seems our kind Kitty has been helping us all this time. We called for old Jinxie before going into hiding, but this little stray here was the only one who showed up. I figured better to save one little whiskered friend than none.
What's this, then? Who in the hells are you? And where am I? These aren't my bones. I've switched skulls? What do you want about, you loon? This is intolerable. I used to be an important man round these parts, you know. I demand respect. The mayor I was and the mayor I am still. Now leave me be, for I've important municipal matters to attend to.
I guess we were wrong. Switching skulls did make him swap.
The dog looks up at you with misery-ridden eyes. Its tail doesn't wag, and when it tries to bark or speak, only silence reaches your ears. The dog hangs its head, then looks north. Filled with fury, it barks noiselessly in the direction of the forest.
Crap on a crack.
Check these cookies.
What is it that you so enjoy about death?
Well, some say death, but it's a second life, I think. A peaceful one, a quiet one.
I get all the peace I need from serving the goddess. A life of peace, I say. Let the lost die that we may live.
It's all mother and answer. You speak your choice. We're gonna gaggle of shame about that village recap.
Your touchdown avoided all trying to get rid of the Switch
Two little eyes, all smashed to bits. My, you're still alive. Way to beat the odds, Wanderer.
find here?
Oh, no, wait, my boot soles.